Hi, my name is Tyrone and this is my wife Anika, and we're going to have episode 2 of Marriage Mondays, where today we'll be talking to you about date night.
Yes, so we just want to start off by just saying that date night is something that's extremely important for married couples to have. And you know what, perhaps I shouldn't say date night, just date. It could be date day, date morning, date afternoon. The point is just to have some time with just you and your spouse. So today we just kind of want to share some tips that have been very helpful for us to remain sorta consistent with having times of connection as spouses.
Tip number 1 is just to actually do it. Make a priority and to actually have a date night or a date day. We find that life gets very busy and chaotic in the midst of schedules, tending to the children's activities, work schedules, your volunteer schedules at your local church or wherever you volunteer at. Your schedules can be very busy where incidentally you may squeeze each other out. And so as a result, we want to actually encourage you to make it a point, make it a priority. Even if you have to put it on your schedule, set a reminder to actually have a date night, date day, and to make it happen.
And so the first tip, well, tip number 2 is to not let money be or the lack of money to be a hindrance for you having dates. We went through different seasons where it was difficult, like really difficult financially for us to really go out. And I think that as newlyweds, you know, we were able to do a lot more, but as life got real, and we began to have children, and even I came off the job and became a stay-at-home mom, we didn't just have, you know, surplus in finances laying around. So we had to become creative. And I know even for me, quite honestly, I think that was a drastic shift because I had built up in my mind false expectations of what a date night, you know, should look like. And if I wasn't dressed up and we weren't going somewhere fancy, then it didn't really qualify. But with time, my mindset was able to, I had to shift my mindset and realize that it's really just about us connecting and just learning to even be creative and getting online and seeing different things that we can do together in the home. There was a long season where a lot of our dates were in the home after we put our children to sleep. It would be, you know, I would buy something special for us to nibble on or watch a movie and end with some type of discussion, some connection between the both of us.
Sure. Along with that, then tip number 3 is no official business will be discussed.
Yes.
Except you and your spouse.
Yeah.
The children, the work, different things that may be going on, extended family. Try to limit that conversation to another time and space. Although those things are important to discuss, we find that sometimes they can creep in and take over the actual date day and a date night, and actually before you realize it, the time has been spent discussing business without you really zeroing in on the purpose why you were there. So tip number 3, hey, focus on each other, look each other in the eyes, talk about specific issues concerning you and your spouse to make this date night to get the most out of it.
Yes, and hold hands and all that wonderful stuff. And tip number 4, it's both partners don't necessarily have to be overly enthusiastic about an activity. For example, I love taking walks. Tyrone, do you enjoy taking walks?
Depends where we're walking to.
He doesn't see the point in it. So he had to learn, like, you know what? It's okay if this is not number 1 on my list, but this is something that my wife enjoys doing, and vice versa. So we had to learn to really compromise in terms of the activities that we were doing and not shut down because or spend a lot of time arguing about what we're going to do because we couldn't agree with it. Maybe one day I pick the location, the next day he picks the location or the activity. It makes a difference.
And so you have this nice challenge, healthy challenge to try to one-up each other. But at the same time, your marriage is growing, getting stronger. And so these are some tips that we've learned to help us. And the last but not least, the tip is to actually do it, as we referenced earlier, even in the midst of difficult seasons. Go ahead and share us time in which we had a date night during a tough time of our season of being one.
Okay. All right. So he puts it on me. Okay. He puts it on me. So I think, yeah, excellent point. Our 5th child ended up in the neonatal intensive care unit, and it was a very difficult time for our marriage and for our family just overall. And quite honestly, it could have really ripped us apart, but it brought us closer together in this, that even with him being in the hospital and his life kind of, you know, being in limbo and we weren't really sure what was going on, it would have been easy for us to kind of pull apart from each other, but we decided to come together. And I remember there were times where we would have dates literally in the hospital cafeteria. It wasn't necessarily that the food was wonderful and it wasn't always flowery conversations, but it was just a time for us to just kind of, and we were together, right? So we made it work, as opposed to just saying, oh, you know, Isaiah's in the hospital, I can't even think about this now. We did make the time, and I think that really helped us even in that process.
Amen. And so we'll see that the investment of having a date on a consistent basis can reap tremendous rewards for you and your spouse as you navigate the beautiful journey of being one. We hope that this blessed you. Stay tuned for more, and may God bless you and your spouse.
All right.